back in the hauler for Ricky Stenhouse. The backup car is now being positioned.
There's the old grip strip.
So let's compare last spring, the night race, and this weekend. Last spring on the left of the screen with no traction compound or track bike, and about 1 lane of it for the summer race and about 1.5 lanes of it now, and it looks as if it's thicker or just picking up more rubber.
Well, in the summer race last year, you put the left sides down on the bottom, and that's where the grip was at. Right sides didn't really have a lot, even though it still laid rubber. It you know, sort of peeled its way up even then, but more about halfway up. Now it's a full lane up, and that's only going to continue to peel and go another probably half a car width up the racetrack once you get in the race.
Remember now, boys, last year they had, I mean, in the fall you had a truck race here earlier in the week. Then you had the Xfinity race, and I don't know how far into the Cup race that was, but I honestly believe all those dark places, excuse me, on the track is the VHT that's rolling up right now. I think once that wears off, once they smooth that out, the track's going to look very similar to what it did here last year.
Well, and I will say, DW, they continue to add, as we see a little bump and run right there by Ty Dillon and Clint Boyer. They did continue to add that resin or that track bike to the track after every race last year. So I'm curious. I bet they don't end up doing that this time. So there is a possibility that it will wear over the weekend throughout the race in Xfinity and Cup Series.
Yeah, I don't remember, and you were here and I wasn't, I don't remember drivers complaining about that stuff being on the track that small.
Oh, it was terrible. Yeah, I mean, and I only mean the track wasn't terrible. The amount of rubber being laid down by the left side tires, it was incredible how much it was. It was very thick. The racing was pretty cool. It was a fun race. I mean, you had a bottom, you had the top groove, so the race itself. So I think that's why they're thinking, hey, you know, that was good. Let's do this, make it even better. And I know the fans have spoken to Bristol Motor Speedway and said, you know what? I want to see the cars single file around the bottom, bumping and banging and back to old school Bristol. A lot of them has said that.
But now here's the other residual effect of shedding that rubber is, look where it goes, all up there, and those are the marbles. And when you get up there, you're gone.
Well, you saw what Danica got all that stuff on her tires. You can't even make a lap. You swear you got 4 flat tires. It just built up on the tire that way. So, yeah, that's a problem. The thing is, are we going to be able to get cars running that high groove, get some rubber down where they can use it?
And going back and talking to those crew chiefs last night, those marbles that go back down into that sticky adhesive, that's what's creating that layer of rubber that's laying there. It just almost welds it to it. It just locks down there.
Watch Kyle Larson. He says, I am determined to get a top groove in this race. I'm determined. I'm going to be the only one.
Well, now's the time to do it because Kyle Busch ran the low groove past him and ran away from him.
Well, and I think the key on this is you can't be the only car and you can't be the first car up there. You need somebody else to work that in multiple cars, as we saw when Kyle Larson went up there, and I admire his tenacity, but he's about a second a lap slower than those running around the lot.
But just like, if everybody's fighting for the bottom, everybody's trying to get on the bottom, and you can go around them on the outside, you're going to pass a lot of cars.
Matt?
Mike, he's trying to make that top work. Entry much better, Kyle Larson telling Chad Johnson, but he still needs help on exit. He thinks the track will come to them at some point. And Joey Meyer, Brad Keselowski's spotter, made a point that everyone is either having their left side tires right on the seam from the apron to the banking, or all 4 are definitely up higher in the black. Larson, he's trying to make it work.
Yeah, but this time nobody's going up there with him.
I think it's going to take, 39, 40 cars out there side by side, starting the race side by side, and really building 2 to 3 lanes. And then eventually, if those cars continue to work that top groove, the marbles will stay up near the wall and won't be right in the groove where they're trying to go, or at least the middle of the racetrack as he's trying to go down.